My child, Kingsmouth Congregational is always open these days. Especially now my flock is considerably reduced. But even if we had holy water, I'm afraid it would have run dry by now. If the good sheriff sent you, tell her I'm doing just fine. I have my books, and I have the Lord, and a 44 behind the pulpit, for differences of faith. We don't usually do confessions, but, well, your secrets are safe with me. As God and Kingsmouth's founding fathers are my witness, I've heard and seen it all, the great and the small. Or maybe, looking at you, we're both in the business of secrets, if you follow my meaning. This is no Armageddon. I hope you're not disappointed. The Mayans might have blocked it in on their calendars, but we have enough of heaven and earth illuminated to us to know better. God bless the internet. Knowledge is power, especially with Google on your side. Do you think this is God's work? Hardly. If God was done with us, surely he would just send down a meteor to finish the job. No, this is all a puzzle. A puzzle that the pieces of this town were fashioned just so to fit by Solomon Priest, I'm sure of it. Solomon Priest. That name says a lot about the man, don't you agree? King Solomon. Now there's an interesting fellow. Look at the churchyard there, chewed up like Susie's clam chowder. I've been keeping a head count, blessings to re-administer, plots to be returfed, other unfortunate logistical problems. Certain discrepancies with the deceased. I mean, out here where there's more ground than people, internment is a God-given right. But in some cases, with out-of-towners mostly, the students from the academy... Well, I believe it's for science, for the advancement of mankind, yes, an enlightened pursuit, a noble tradition, and boys will be boys. Blessed are the meek, but doubly blessed are those who do the Lord's work boldly. It is through his grace that we find sanctuary in his house, when his house is besieged by zombies. Not to belittle the Lord's work, but perhaps the illuminated ones made this place a safe place through some conjuration of theirs, blessed by the Lord, of course, or at the very least tolerated. Whatever the providence of our sanctuary, it extends no further than the doorstep. Even the cemetery spills over with the devil's spawn. I've tried prayer, I've tried my 44, but Satan's wearing Kevlar, and Bible thumping just pisses them off. Kingsmouth is not a town without its blight, its fallow seasons. In times past, these lands have borne bad fruit. The demons are plucking forgotten apples that should have been left to rot on the boughs of Kingsmouth's tree, planted in unsanctified soil. By apples, I mean bodies. The tree represents, graves, and the unsanctified soil means, well, unsanctified soil, unmarked graves, mass graves. They operated with rationale, our illuminated ancestors. I'm sure of it. I mean, who am I to question these men of action? Those men of God. Even if they did stumble in their faith, well, that can happen to all of us. We forget to say grace. We lie. We cheat. We fornicate. We do worse. We have more immediate concerns than being ministers of past sins. What they're digging up is something that should remain buried, hidden from inquisitive eyes and wagging tongues. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Kingsmouth is a book of secrets, an illuminated manuscript waiting for those who would read between the lines. I've seen it spelled out, the hidden truth of this blighted Garden of Eden. For are we not seekers of knowledge, you and I? Even a man of God can have his eyes open to further enlightenment and illumination. To be illuminated under the eye. The pyramid? The Illuminati. I'm with the Illuminati. I don't have a badge or anything like that. I'm what you might call a hobbyist member. But I earned it. I did extensive research on the net. The code words I followed led me to forums. Secret forums. Forums that don't show up on Google. And I'm an avid poster. A valued poster. I know there are paths in Kingsmouth not on any map. The work of the Illuminati is everywhere. A secret gospel, chapter and verse throughout the town. Signs and formulae. That's why you're here, isn't it? Now, my work is not exhaustive. There are elements of our grand plan I may have overlooked. Tiny, tiny details still left unexplored. I trust we have each other's disclosure. There's a glint to your eyes that I recognize from the bathroom mirror. You've walked Kingsmouth's secret trails, yes? What was it like? Was it illuminating? Were you enlightened? If it weren't for circumstance and my duty to the Lord, I would join you, document your expedition. Although, those are not the only paths. Some run deeper, more hidden. Tap your foot on any paving stone down Main Street, and you might hear the echo of Illuminati history. Oh yes, Solomon Priest and Isaac Fletcher put this soil to work when they raised Kingsmouth above and below. Why, the whole of Solomon County is positively riddled with tunnels. But I wouldn't expect most people to notice. They're too enclosed by their simple lives to comprehend the secret world around them, below them. You can't stop now. I know that feeling intimately. The desire to keep digging. That glint won't fade. The restlessness in your heart won't slow. The voices won't fall silent. Dig further. Dig deeper. Always deeper.
Access inventory updated.
Look on your face says even my good side is worse for wear. I've been trying not to think about changing. Like it could all be a bad dream I ain't woken up from. Nightmares. All nightmares. Since that storm blew us off course. Off the compass. Off the map. We didn't tell anyone about the shit we saw. About dead ships all caught up in red weed as far as you could see. About the things moving in the fog. In the water. About what we saw beneath it all. Deep into the abyss. Or what I found there. In that dungeon darkness, it shone like a signal flare. Like something fallen down from heaven above, you understand? A blade made of pure light. A thing of terrible beauty. I could hear its siren song, just calling me. Last I remember was the Creed boys hollering as I took a hold of it. It took a hold of me. I wasn't strong enough, I know that now. They told me it pushed back the fog and the waves while I was out cold. Told me it saved us. It didn't save us. That thing brought the fog back to Kingsmouth. I brought the fog back to Kingsmouth. And I still hear that siren song. I know you hear it too. You could find it. You could stop that awful noise. Put that burning brightness back where it belongs. In the deep, in the dark. I wonder what would have happened if I never left that Red Sea. Maybe Joe Slater never did. And all this is just some pitch dark dreaming.
Finally silenced the incessant noise and moved it to a safer place.
So where did...
Away from here. I'm not in a sharing mood, Cassandra, and the moaning isn't helping.
That's not what you said last night. Oh, baby, I thought we had something. Something magic. Black as space and red as blood.
This is so very far beyond you, little girl.
Fuck off. I've seen the beyond, and I'm a fast learner. I'm ready for more than this. Give me something. Let me in. Let me do what I'm good at.
What? Getting the boys to sign over their lives for a snog? I'll tell you what you can do. We're spreading an idea, but that idea won't take hold without carriers. You keep spreading those long legs of yours to recruit more foot soldiers.
Be still, my beating heart. Here's what I don't get, Beaumont. You have what you've been looking for. Your precious magic sword. You control the armies of the living dead. You pretty much own this island. So the question is, why the sour face? I mean, what is it that you're missing something, right? Now, this is interesting. Your treasure, your precious. You can't use it, can you? I mean, the spirit is willing, but the flesh... Oh my, the flesh is limp.
Watch it, little girl. You have no idea what...
What? What?
You want to know what this is really about, Cassie, dear, when it all comes down to it, hmm? Change. Evolution. A new dawn. The world tree will shake. The sun will turn black, and the gods themselves will fall. We are rebooting the world.
That's the thing, isn't it? What everyone talks about. It's the big headline. The dawning of a new age, right? Tokyo. The endless night. I like it. There's poetry to it. And oh, does it suit you, the evil sorcerer thing. It's sexy.
The answer is in the archives somewhere. It has to be. They knew about it, the gateway to the black heart of the island. I have the key, but that lock... That lock is the fucking thing.
Wait, didn't you say that the lock...
I've been around long enough to recognize the flavor of the day, Cassie. You're it.
Oh, really? So that's it. That's how you repay me, you piece of shit. No more. Take one last good look at what you're missing. Lover boy.
Useless bitch. The Illuminati and their bloody labyrinths.
You might have heard some rumors about me. It's not true. Not all of it. I mean, sure, before all this happened, I was an active young woman. You know, I like to play. But that doesn't give anybody the right to badmouth me. Small towns are all the same, filled with small-minded and petty people. So if a married man breaks his vows, I'm to blame, right? Yeah, stands to reason he was bewitched and seduced through no fault of his own. Drum up the auto da fe, burn the witch at the stake. I find it amusing when they talk about me behind my back. More often than not, my most vocal detractors have been among my most frequent visitors. Jealousy and guilt are two very powerful incentives to exaggerating someone's promiscuity. I suppose I got lucky when the fog came. I was, tied up in here. I had this uncontrollable urge to walk into the sea, let the waters swallow me. But I was unable to, due to, you know, the plush handcuffs. The mayor wasn't as fortunate, but I suppose I can thank his fetishes for saving my life. In the commotion, he ran out of here, in his boxers, with the key to the handcuffs. Which probably means he's walking around out there somewhere, in his boxers, with the key to the handcuffs. I contemplated biting off my own hands, but then Andy found me, buck naked. Me, not him. He turned red as a tomato, sweet kid. But I didn't want to join the others at the station. I've had enough of the judgmental looks and the whispering. I'll fend for myself, thanks very much. I'm not from Kingsmouth. I moved here about 10 years ago. In retrospect, perhaps not the best decision I've ever made. First, my husband left me. Then I lost my house, my savings. Running away seemed like the best answer at the time. I moved around for a few years. I didn't have any applicable skills, no education. My options were limited. Hello, Kingsmouth, yeah. This town seemed as good a place as any to settle. Plenty of people in need of assurance, so I figured I'd give this fortune-telling business a go. And here I am, surrounded by the living dead, in more ways than one. Some nights exist out of time. They're not part of one season or the next. They don't belong to the living or the dead. Boundaries collapse. Mortals meet with gods, demons, ghosts, all that crap. Sacrifice, purging, divination, summoning. There are certain kinds of crazy you can't get away with on normal nights. Example, apparently it's the one night of the year mortals can make love with supernatural creatures. I know, fingers crossed, right? No, but seriously, if you know any single fawns... Obviously, I'm kidding! I mean, they don't have to be single. I sense An alien presence. The fog obscures a terrible truth concealed behind a veil of... Sorry, old habits. Hey, just so you know, I don't do readings anymore. I've been outside. You don't need second sight to foretell our future. We're all doomed. It's not like I'm gonna need the money. It's strange, but it's the dreams that really get to me, not reality. I can handle reality, but those nightmares just... It's like a really annoying song that gets stuck in your head, repeating over and over and over again. The dreams are always about ravens. Thousands of ravens. Flapping wings, black feathers, dead eyes, beaks and talons tearing and clawing and screeching. Wings of death and pestilence. A black, timeless malice covering Kingsmouth like a funeral shroud. You get the idea. I don't know what any of it means, but it's doing a number on my beauty sleep, I can tell you that.
Don't mind the mess.